So this basically started when I was looking for mods to download for Max Payne 3, and I came across the realistic Ragdoll behavior mod version 1.2. And this mod, as it says itself, brings a realistic approach on people being shot. And I watched a video, and it's pretty good. It's actually, the physics are a lot better than in the actual game. It makes the gunplay look a lot more realistic, but that's not what I'm looking for when I'm kind of playing a video game. Especially when I'm putting a John Wick action movie mod. I'm a big fan of 80s action movies. So what I kind of want is I want body parts to fly everywhere. I want a headshot impact to have the head whipping back. I want arms flailing everywhere. I want bodies lifting off the floor when they get hit with a shotgun. That type of thing. So I downloaded the mod to check it out, and I realized it was just an XML mod, which from my limited modding skills and my limited modding ability, I know that an XML file is basically just a bunch of code and values that you can increase and decrease to make things react differently. I'm looking through the file. There are a lot of things you can change here. Like I said, I have very limited experience in modding, and I don't really have the time to go through every single one of these and figure out what they do, figure out what the values should be. So I turned to ChatGPT. So I opened Open4, searched for the file that I needed, extracted myself a copy of it, and then popped it into ChatGPT. Then I loaded on Max Payne 3 and started messing around and seeing some of the things I wanted to change. For example, headshots. I kind of want the head to fly back and the body to fly back from a headshot. Leg shots, I want the leg to be flipping around, or at least to cause the guy a bit more pain. See, I just want the bullets to have a lot more impact. And similar with a shotgun, I don't really want that guy to be falling down the way he did. I kind of want him to come off his feet, like fly backwards. That wasn't bad, the shotgun to the leg. That one, not too great. Let's give myself a rifle. I kind of want the guts to twitch a lot more like in the old 80s action movies, like in Robocop. So I had my notes, and it's time to put them into ChatGPT. So I told it, this is a file from Max Payne 3. I'd like you to modify it to make it more like an 80s action movie. We'll start by making the headshots better. I like headshots to have more impact and snap back with more force, causing the enemies to fly backwards upon impact or in the direction of where the bullet is going. The last sentence kind of seems a bit clunky to me, but right now I can't think of a better way to say it. But I know what I want. I know what I want to see, and hopefully ChatGPT will know what I want to see as well, based on my description. Well, it kind of like the movie Robocop is basically what I'm going for. So let's press enter and see what that does. It should spit out a file from it, and it gave me a fantastic explanation of what everything does and why we're doing it. And then it said it's going to cause dramatic ragdolling upon headshots. If it's too extreme or not extreme enough, these are the things that I should try adjusting. And then it says, would you like me to generate a file for you to test in game? And I was like, yes, please do the work for me. And after a minute or so, it came back with a file to download. Again, with another explanation. So we now have powerful snapback torque and force on headshots, lift and spin on impact, bullet direction used to fling bodies accurately, and amplified impulse modifiers and shock spin. That sounds like exactly what we want. So once I downloaded it, I had a file that was _headshot_mod. I quickly renamed it to ctask_nmshot.xml, so it was the same as the file in Max Payne 3. Found the file I was going to replace, and then just dragged it in and launched Max Payne 3. And let's now test our headshots out. That is much better. I just basically threw off the building. I love it. This is what that guy basically did something. Maybe that's a bit too extreme, but that's probably a bit too much. I love that hit against the wall. So maybe it is a little bit too extreme right now, but headshots are certainly a lot more fun. And the thing I do love about ChatGPT as well is that it also gives you some nice little suggestions as well. It says if you want to tweak anything further, example, make sniper headshots send enemies flying 10 feet. Yes, please. I would love for it to do that. But we're going to keep working on the body parts for now. So next, it was basically limb shots. I wanted legs and arms to flail and to provide more torque, so they spin in, so that they spin around when they get shot. And I also want, because I know this is a thing in Max Payne 3, I want them to reach for the body part that they've just been shot at. So it makes it kind of more realistic and also a bit more like action way. So I want them to react like they're in pain, basically. So I'm quite satisfied with how those headshots work. I recommend if you want to make any changes yourself, just do exactly like I do. Next, I'm going to be moving on to legs and arms. So I said, now let's tweak how enemies react when they get shot in the arms. I want the arms to swing or flail like they do in 80s action movies, and I'd also like it to create maybe emotion. I'd like enemies to realize they've been shot in the arm and attempt to grab the limbs. It says arm swinging wildly is now set to 1. Enemies grab their wound limbs quickly. Gun holding hand can still reach for wounds. Arm flail is faster, wider, and stiffer for dramatic motion. Okay, let's download that file. Once again, I'm going to rename it so it's the same as the one in Max Payne. Go to Open 4 and drag and drop this new file in, making sure that I am in edit mode. Let's go back into the game and see how they react to arm shots. Let's get a little bit closer. I like that he's kind of holding his arm. Oh no. Is he about to just die? He just killed over from the bullet wound. I'm shooting him in the chest, it seems. So that didn't work exactly as intended. So I'm just going to let ChatGPT know and see if there's anything they can do about it. So I just said it didn't work as I imagined. Is there a way for enemies to drop their weapons and for their arms to swing more wildly and their bodies to have more animation and rotation? I'd like it to be more dramatic. They keep reaching for the wounds too quickly, I think, which is what I think is happening. I think basically the reach for the wound animation is triggering a bit too quick and it's stopping the actual arm flailing. So I'll try and get rid of that. I think that was a bad idea. So it spat me out another file. Let's just download it and see what happens. So you should know the score by now. Rename it. Drop it into Open 4 and fire up the game again, and let's test out what we've just done. That's a lot better. And he dropped his gun. That's nice. Okay. Shoot his gun arm. That kill him? Oh. Certainly a lot more fun. It still doesn't kind of do what I want it to do, which is I want them to swing them around. I mean, that one kind of was better. After a couple more revisions of that, I thought that was okay. Move on to the legs and body. So with the body shots, what I want with the body shots is it to kind of be, like I said, I want it to be like Robocop. 80s action movie. I want someone, when someone gets hit in the body, I want the body to jerk and jerk and jerk. And so the more bullet, every time a bullet hits the body, I want it to create kind of a jerking motion and them to fall back like in the movies. So let's ask ChatGPT if it can do it. So for body shots, I put, now let's work on body shots. I'd like bullets in the body to work like in 80s action movies, similar to Robocop. I'd like each bullet to jerk the body upon impact from the impact zone, and each bullet after to have the same effect, creating a kind of jittering motion, and the arms to flail backwards and forwards, and the enemy to be pushed backwards upon impact. I'm hoping that makes sense. If you can think of anything better in the comments, let me know. Once again, it's gave me another file and a list of what it's done. Copy and paste that back into Open 4 and then load up the game to test out our new mod. So let's get a pistol. That seems to be working fine. Let's test it out with a rifle or SMG. So I'll go to the weapon options. Let's give myself, I think an AK-47 will be good for this. Let's just hit this guy in the body. That is brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. So for those keeping score at home, this is what we've done so far. Headshots are now more dramatic. Guys, fly around. Arm shots, more dramatic. And my new favorite one, body shots. And body shots make people jitter and flail around like an 80s action movie, which is exactly what I want. Also, if you're following along from home and you have any ideas of how you can make this better, any sort of actions or movements that you think would improve the game that I should try and do on ChatGPT, then let me know down in the comments, because honestly, I'd like this to be a communal project, because I'm not an expert when it comes to these kind of things. I just like ridiculous action movies, that's all. So any sort of help on making this mod even better is going to be greatly appreciated. I want to turn this game into the ultimate 80s action fest. The final thing that I need to do as far as the body's concerned is the legs. So we've got the arms. What I want from the legs is I kind of want the legs to swing, obviously, flail. I want them to get shot, and I want them to sort of either swing backwards or forwards, depending on what it is. I just want them to just come out from underneath them, basically. And so, like, basically when you get shot with a shotgun in the movies, it'd be great if the whole leg could come off, but that's not the type of game that we have here. There used to be a game like that where limbs would fall off that was pretty cool. I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself. But let's finish up with the body modifications with leg shots. Again, 80s action style. When shot in the leg, I like the legs to fly upon impact, come out from underneath them. I added a question to ask if there is a way to differentiate between a leg and a kneecap. So I want, if it's a leg, for it to fly. If it's a kneecap, I'd like them to drop to their knees, maybe. I don't know if that's possible. We'll find out. Okay, so as I suspected, kneecap-specific behavior isn't separable here, but it has produced a new mod for the leg shots. So I'm going to download that, and you know the score. Download, change the name, and drag that into Open4. So fire up Max Payne again. And now, that first one looked very convincing. Brilliant. I love it. Switch to the pistol. Amazing. So I was quite happy with that, and I wanted to see how I could push things even further and what kind of changes I could make to the individual weapons. So once again, I asked ChatGPT, what can I do with individual weapons? And it gave me a list of the different things we can tune. So we can tune the pistols, shotguns, sniper rifles, automatics. I'm not going to be using the melee. So with shotguns, I'd like them to send enemies flying off their feet and a few feet in the direction of the bullets, especially on body shots. So I kind of want that like action thing where like someone gets shot with a shotgun in the gut, and then like they kind of come off their both feet come off the ground and they fly backwards into a wall or whatever, or fly back wherever they are. It says pistols, more controlled reactions, slight flinches, no spin. Nah, I want my pistols to just I want my pistols to destroy. I like pistols. Then for sniper rifles, I really want I like that head explodes idea. Make the enemy fly back, let's say 10 to 15 feet. Then for automatics, I'd like the multiple small jerks, not the huge knockback, kind of like Robocop. Keep the current settings kind of similar, but I want to tweak the following settings to add more impact and flare. So I'll send that through and wait for it to give me the file. So hopefully this will be the final tweak. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below to this file if you want it. And I'll also be doing another video on the John Wick mod that you've seen throughout this video. So let's take a look at our final results. They're not exactly flying off their feet, but it is a pretty decent reaction. Headshots still are great. Okay, not bad. Let's take a look at the rifles. Give myself an AK-47. Yep. Ready the Twitch thing that I asked for. And headshots are still great. And the final thing to check is sniper rifles. Yep, sniper rifles do have the intended effect of sending the person flying back. It's not exactly 20 feet into the air, but I'm not sure if that's possible in this engine. So that's it. That is how I made my own custom mod for Max Payne 3 using ChatGPT. Let me know down in the comments if you use this mod and what you think about it, or if you have any suggestions on how to improve the mod, or if you use this method yourself to make your own own version of the physics in Max Payne 3. Let me know how it goes. I'm deeply interested in the things that we can do with these files, and I'm amazed at what we can do with ChatGPT and other AI platforms. So if you use a different AI platform from me, let me know how that works out for you. I'm going to have a lot of fun replaying this game now that I've set everything up. I've done another video on how to install all the mods that I've installed onto the game as well. And I basically bought the game. I haven't played it properly. I've just been messing around with mods and just basically fucking around with it. And my current playtime on Steam is 10.8 hours. So I spent 10.8 hours modding and getting this game ready just so I could play through it one more time. That's it for this video. I don't know what else to say at the end of these videos. Like this video if you like the video, please. That really helps the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing some videos on other Max Payne mods as well in the future. So Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2, they've got a ton of mods that I recently found out about. So I'm going to be doing a couple of videos on how to install, and I'm going to be playing through them. I've got other videos on mods and other videos on Dolphin Emulator and other emulators on my channel. So anything that you want to take a look about the channel, see if there's anything that interests you, and give it a watch. Next game I'm looking forward to is Mafia: The Old Country. I'm probably going to get it. It comes out in a couple of days. I'll probably give that a go. But other than that, take care, have a wonderful day, and yeah,